Welcome to another Pinche podcast.
You're here with another Pinche podcast, and I have Dulce today. How you doing, Dulce?
Hey, what's going on, Lobo? I'm doing good. How about yourself?
So far, so good. Not too bad. Staying busy, trying to get this podcast going.
Awesome. Yeah. Glad to
Um,
see you pushing
all
it.
that stuff.
Good stuff.
So yeah, and I have you on here today. You have an event coming up this year. You want to tell us about that and a little bit about your experience with doing events?
Yeah. So, introducing myself, my name is Dulce. I'm with the Mas Dulce Productions. I am an event producer here in San Jose. I've been producing events for about 15 years now. And basically, my biggest goal and vision is to preserve the culture of San Jose. I am an entrepreneur and I also DJ. I'm a vinyl collector. And these are what my hobbies are: the music and show production. But I like also providing a platform for artists to showcase their talent, being, they're artistic with music or artistic with art or even cultural expressions such as dance. So I like to showcase a little of all that while preserving the roots of San Jose because I feel like it is very important to do so. It's what I represent, including like the lowriding community, and those roots are strong, and we want to be able to preserve that. And that's my vision for bringing back Chicano Soul Fest because it's been 5 years since I've had one of these events, one of these series of events. They started, as you know, you were actually part of the planning part of the. We were in discussion, just talking, and you're actually the one that gave me the name of like, hey, you should call it Chicano Soul Fiesta. But it turned out being Chicano Soul Fest because everybody kept calling it that. But I won't forget that, you and I have been friends for a long time. We have similar passions in the scene. You contribute in your own way with the videography, pictures, photography, event coverage. And now you're doing a podcast, which is another avenue. And again, you're providing a platform for people to share what they do. So that's awesome. And Chicano Soul Fest, bringing it back after the COVID interruption. It's been it was a little difficult to be honest, to get back into doing an event. There's a little bit of fear of like, shoot, what if something else happens? And here goes this event that I'm planning. And then also not only that, but venues have been a little bit hard to obtain nowadays. So I recently helped out earlier this year with a woman's event at History Park. So that kind of opened the door for me in a sense of the opportunity of getting to meet the staff there and kind of being there at that moment and saying, it kind of just re-inspired me to say, you know what, I want to have an event here because it's a beautiful venue, as you know. History Park is, it's a preservation park as well. So, and it's just a beautiful aesthetics, a perfect event venue. And so I just kind of ran with it at that point because it's always been in me to want to do this again. But again, I'm not going to lie, there's been that fear of like, oh my gosh, what if something happens again, and et cetera. And there goes my investment down the drain, et cetera. But, at this point, like I said, preserving culture is important to me. It's important for me to bring events like this to the community, to the people, create memorable events, showcase talent, and for my own personal development as well as a producer. This would be, I would say, I've been still active doing events. I am part of the United Lowrider Council, and we have been active with the lift of the ban, and with that came, a big celebration and City Hall, being a partner with the city and putting events such as Lowrider Day, Cinco de Mayo that just passed, a huge success. Last year we did at SOFA, we did a Raza Unida Fest, and we were sponsored by San Jose Jazz and Abierto Group, the Abierto program. So I've been active with events, but this is like my baby, to say. My creation, my inspiration. And again, it's something that I've been wanting to do for a while and bring it back. And I just allowed myself to just put my chips in and bet on myself and go with it. So that's where I'm at right now.
Well, there, that's a lot to be said with, I'm glad that you're bringing it back. I know, with the other venue you did it at the fairgrounds, right? And there was all these different last minute caveats and stuff. When you're doing, and you say, how it's hard to find a place to do something, a venue. Um, what what part of it? What do you think part of History Park that really like caught your attention to decide I'm just going to do something here?
Yeah, for one, like I said, what had opened the door for me is being that I helped out with an event there earlier this year in March. It was in celebration of Women's International Month, and they brought me in because they wanted to showcase a woman lowrider exhibition, and so that's where I came in and I assisted with that. I also DJ'd the event, and so being able to be part of the planning committee with History Park. So already working hand in hand, I saw how they worked and the feasibility into like, hey, I can do this. Nothing is being sponsored. It's all coming out of my pocket, but it's more the sense of being on the back scene and seeing how they work, how their get down is, how extremely organized they are. And so also the experience from the year before when I did Raza Unida, because this is a city venue. So I was already familiar with how things work. And I want to encourage anybody who wants to produce events. It's definitely feasible and doable. There are a lot of guidelines. It's all a matter of choosing where your location, where you want to be. And from there, I on the back scenes, I work with great people who walk you through the steps. So initially, my first Chicano Soul Fest event was at Santa Clara Fairgrounds. It was like a mini festival in a sense, because I had a designated area, but it was very successful. The second year, I tried to do it back at the fairgrounds, but to be quite honest, since then I have not been successful. The fairgrounds, I don't know who's managing it or what, but they just don't get back to you, et cetera, et cetera. So I had to split my event. I wanted a big event and I couldn't due to the location. And so what I did is I did a weekender, making it a Saturday and Sunday event at Tiki Pete's lounge area bar. So it worked out. Again, to me, I would have preferred to have a full one-day show opposed to splitting it. But those are kind of the things you got to do sometimes when you're an event producer. You got to pivot and you got to work with what you've got. And then 2020 is pretty much set on its own. So bring it back to History Park and hopefully create, looking forward to creating history. And my goals and my visions is to eventually grow this in a larger scale to be statewide or even nationwide and bring it to other cities, other states as well. And so that's my bigger vision.
No, absolutely. And with the History Park, obviously you're adding more cars, so more car show, as well as the performance, the music, the talent. Can you tell us about the talent that you're going to bring, as well as just promoting the event and the car show?
Right. So the vision for Chicano Soul Fest is to encapsulate the essence of the Chicano culture with music, art, performances, but capturing what the Chicano culture is a little bit of everything. It's a mix of everything, and so from bandas to mariachis to soul and funk and capturing all of that essence of that. And so with that being said, our performers is Beatriz Gonzalez, who she was one of my first guest performers for my first one. And I mean, she's so loved out here and she did a great performance. So she gets down with the mariachi. So I'm backing her up with the mariachi Mi Mexico. And so she's going to actually start the show. And then following her would be the banda. And we have a lady by the name of, that goes by Sara La Morena. And she's going to be backed up by Banda La Única, who's a local banda from San Jose. Out of Oakland, there's a funky soul band called the Grease Traps, and they're also going to perform and back up Nira, who's a cover oldies artist from the LA area, and then we're going to have Joey Quinones, who's been very successful over the past 5 years. He's also been part of my Chicano Soul events with the Sinceres in the past, and bringing him back. And to close off the event will be some funk with Diamond Ortiz. So,
Nice.
So that's basically our music lineup. We are going to have about 200 cars, food vendors, merch vendors, an art exhibition curated by One Culture, and Aztec dancers, Calpulico Maleke, who's a very popular Aztec dancers here in San Jose. And we are actually going to also have some performers. They're teenagers. They go by Los R&R Squad from Rena's Dance. And so these are teenagers, and they do a little bit of like a mixed performance of bachata, reggaeton, banda. And so it's going to be an honor to showcase them as well.
Oh, nice.
And of course, we got to have the vinyl DJs. In between the set. So we have Flipside Lovers and Homegirls of Soul.
Nice. So the now coming from the vinyl, spinning vinyls and doing a lot of that stuff through the years, and then starting, I even remember when you did the event at Bamboo Lounge and stuff like that, and you see yourself. I see that like your events are growing, and like you said, this one is another one. And you want to go from, are you going to try to do just another couple for like the next couple years here, and then decide if you're going to expand to other parts of California, or
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm talking about my bigger vision, and you're right. Like end of 2017, 2018, I did start off because I've been doing events for a long time, but as Mas Dulce Productions is when I started back in the end of 2017, 2018, and I did a small intimate venue at the Tiki Lounge where I had Trish Toledo. I actually, brought her to San Jose. It was her first time in San Jose, and kind of gave her her own first show, and it was amazing. It was turned, and so that's when, like I said, I'm inspired by artists, by the music, and so sometimes it's just this. I have a creative outlet within me, and so it's like I get these ideas and I run with it to say, and it has gotten bigger and bigger over time. And this year will be my biggest event, being I'm renting the whole venue, the whole park, up to 5,000 people. So this would be the biggest event to come from Mas Dulce Productions. And I am also in the process of looking for sponsorship. So far, I have some in discussion, but the ones that are locked in so far is an energy drink, which is the first Latino energy drink, Dale Con Ganas. And so they're officially sponsoring the event. I have Black Tie Vanities, who they provide luxury portable restrooms. So they're going to be part of the VIP experience. And so there's others in the works, so I'm putting it out there if anybody's interested in sponsorships. I'm also looking at it not just as a sponsorship, but a collaborative effort. I like to, like I said, I'm in a place where I have a platform to bring something to the people. And if there's people who are interested in bringing some enhancement to the event, some experience to the event, we can work like a collaboration. And so, with that being said, I think connections are everything as well. Depending on who I rub elbows with, who I get in touch with, how big do we make this event? How soon, how great is the success of this event going to be, to where it's going to be like, hey, let's do this over here. And, being that, I would say, to be quite honest, that my next one would be probably the LA area. As a lot of these artists, that's where they're coming from. A lot of my associations and counterparts are from LA, meaning in the music. I call them counterparts because I also have an extension of a soul family, other vinyl collectors, other event performers. So that's where I see the near future would be probably the LA area. would be to have another one of these events, and from there, it would grow and expand. Where the raza and the culture, has a bigger presence, I would say.
Yeah. The with the following with your vinyl, you travel a lot. Do you think that helps when it comes down to making decisions of like how you're going to use artists, or like how you're going to stand out from just an average car show when it comes down to the way you want to throw your event? Like, I know you travel all over the place, and a lot of the stuff, do you go to different places and you guest DJ at vinyl events, you go just to go. Um, has that really helped you with doing things that other people haven't done?
I believe so. I believe the opportunities in traveling and meeting people, they're also resources. So that has expanded that opportunity for me to have a presence in other areas geographically. So that has definitely helped a lot.
Yeah, I think in general, like me being a photographer, I like to move. I've realized I like to move around and travel. And there's one thing to be home, there's one thing to be in your city, in your area, and there's another thing to move outside of that. And you have to build a network of people and stuff like that, so you're comfortable, and or it depends on how comfortable some people are. But because a lot of times people are like, well, they don't leave the Bay Area, let's just say. And but it's like, well, you don't get to experience more or build more of a fan base, or build more of a network. And
Exactly.
I think that's the
Thinking that
hardest
you're
thing.
limiting yourself. If you don't get out of your comfort zone, you're limiting yourself. Hey, some people are okay with that. But if you're the person that wants to grow and wants to expand, you can't limit those opportunities for yourself. And, I highly suggest that those efforts are made to expand and grow and move out of your comfort zone and go to and visit other areas, network with others that share similar visions and passions as you, because collaborative minds come together. It's a powerful thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then once again, when you're talking about the sponsors, because that's a big deal in a lot, because it sometimes helps cushion the expenses and stuff like that. But what for you, for your event, what kind of people do you want to have as a sponsor? Because I know that not everybody that comes to some events or some promoters as a sponsor is really going to be a fit. So what for yourself, if somebody listening to this decides they want to sponsor, because your event is what, September 7th?
September 7th, yes.
So you still have some time.
A little under 90 days.
You
Not
count.
counting.
But what are you looking for, if for the type of community involvement or situational, stuff that would be with a ideal sponsor?
Because the event captures so much, there's music and you get different genres of music. So it's almost it's all cultural. But one thing I've never done is bring a banda. Like the first time, like I had never brought a mariachi, because I'm always in the oldies, old school funk kind of, thing. And so bringing a mariachi 5 years ago was something new. And it was like, ooh, is this going to work? And it totally worked. So, so now I'm bringing in the banda, and that does tend to bring a different crowd, right?
Yeah.
And so that would be demographically targets, different demographic is the sense of the music. So I'd say anything involved with music. It's a car show, so anything involved with cars, parts, car paint, hydraulics, anything of that sort that's really car related. Anything that would help enhance the VIP experience, anything that would help with hosting the talent that is coming in, even the art part. There's also anybody involved with like art, or it's just collaboration. Even if somebody, it's because it's also marketing. It's also an opportunity for marketing. So anybody who can see their brand or product being marketed at this event would be I would say, a good prospect for a sponsorship.
Absolutely.
Right? Like Black Tie Vanities, they are sponsoring their luxury portable restrooms. They're a new business, and that's what they do is they provide luxury portable restrooms, which this is an outdoor event. So this is an opportunity to work together, help promote their new business and what they're offering while bringing and enhancing the VIP experience. So those are, the visions I have in mind. It's also, and also how that assists me is because everything is an expense. So if you can work together while the opportunity to promote, it goes hand in hand. But sometimes I'm going to have the stage is going to have an LED screen. And so we can put somebody's brand, logo on the stage, their logo. So the presence is there. We can put it in the marketing distribution. We can set up a vendor booth. So you got walk-in visibility, you've got screen visibility, you got social media visibility. So I would say that's kind of like the goal of the sponsorships is assisting with the financial expenses, goals for the event, because what we want this to be is we want this to be a successful event that again grows in the future to go and grow geographically to statewide and nationwide. And so that's why this event is so important.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, like I said, so for everybody, I give you, like she said, the different artists. We're not just sticking with the local rappers and everything else like that, which is nothing wrong with that. But this is something that is catered to be outside of what your normal event car show. This is not your average car show, and you have more live talent and you have more authentic music. And it's it's a totally different vibe. And like walking into your event, what could you describe it as, what somebody would experience walking into this event knowing what you know?
Well, again, it's a cultural event. I think the history park itself and the aesthetics, you get to have that effect of old school, the old buildings, the old car. So there's definitely that authenticity, original cars, original buildings. The music is all classic or old school oldies that will be playing in the background while there's no performances. When there is performances, you're going to get that variety of mix of the genre of music. And so bringing all of that together into one, it's going to bring and target different demographics. So you're just going to get a mix of just cultural vibes all together.
Nice. So you said you're expecting about 200 cars?
Yes.
Well, I guess you could say so far the lowriders that you have or you expect to attend the show, where's the majority? Obviously from San Jose, or you're getting people from
the majority are local cars from San Jose. I did just lock in with Frisco's Finest. So far, Frisco's Finest. I do have somebody from Sacramento coming out, not a big car club, but Frisco's Finest is coming right now, 10 deep so far. So I was really, honored for Frisco's Finest to drive their way down here and show some support. So I'm appreciative to that. And I'm also going to shout out Boulevard Kings, because Boulevard Kings are almost 15 cars deep right now. So I really appreciate that. And I definitely have to send the love out there.
Nice. Yeah. With everything you do with the council and everything, and I also want to start getting into about the legalized cruising, but that's for another podcast setup.
Yeah.
But how has that been for you, just being a part of that?
It's definitely been a great experience. It's been amazing, and it's been an honor to be part of history. I think that the Lowrider Council was about a little under a year in when I got involved, and the reason I got involved was that I was because of the events that I do. So that's what I am. I'm the event coordinator for the United Lowrider Council of San Jose. So bringing that experience, my entrepreneurial skills, made me, I guess, qualified in their eyes to be brought in to be somebody that is part of the council and the vision of the council. And so that was one of the visions of the council so far that have come to fruition have been the lift of the no cruising ban and also a huge Cinco de Mayo event. And we've been part of that. And these have all been historic. I mean, growing up, we used to get shut down all the time cruising. And I actually did a speech the day of the celebration of the lift of the ban. And part of my speech was like, wow, did you ever imagine lowriders at City Hall? Because I would have never envisioned that because of the relationship with the city and this bad negative stigma. So being part of the Lowrider Council and during the time that we're making history and we're partnering with the city and we're collaboratively working with the city and bringing great events to our community and being recognized on all levels, which is a city level, county level, state level, federal level. I'm talking about every level we've been recognized. So, and it's not to say the Lowrider Council because we are the Lowrider community. So we represent the Lowrider community. We are the council, but we're representing the Lowrider community. The vision is for all and it's expanded tremendously. So how do I feel about that? I feel amazing being part of history.
Yeah, I mean, I remember going, and I was like, I would have never in a million years ever thought that this would have happened.
Yeah.
It was just a different feeling. Like, wow, and I look back and go, okay, in the 90s, I was doing, the typical stuff out there, the stereotypical stuff out there, and so on and so forth. But it's good to see, people evolved and the maturity and the difference between how it was back then to how it is now. So absolutely, we've earned the right to have this for us. And it seems like, because not every city is getting this kind of love, but San Jose as a city, they pretty much seems like they've embraced this.
The city definitely has. I mean, the last event, the Cinco de Mayo, is the city, the San Jose Police Department, and the Lowrider Council. I mean, all collaborative efforts.
And I think that what's kind of funny though, honestly, if you really look at it, 'cause I was just thinking about something. I was actually asking somebody the other day. I said, now cruising's legal. We had our Cinco de Mayo thing and everything else like that. And then what I noticed, no one's putting out any cruise nights. I don't know what happened. It's like, okay, well, we got it. Now we can do it. And then it got kind of quiet. I don't know. It's been quiet for the last month and a half, I think, with events and stuff like that. But there's all that, and it comes down to, once again, bringing another event to San Jose, something that could become annual, something that can become, what people talk about, want to do, look forward to every year. And, especially with the type of music and the performers you bring, I think that that's what could definitely happen with this event that you're having.
Yeah. And one thing, because I didn't just make this up. I mean, I've been attending events for a long time, and I give credit to anybody putting on a show because it's not easy, and it's all with the cause of bringing entertainment to our community. I will say that I like to set myself a little bit different from the rest, and that is why I create these type of events that includes a little bit more than what your average car show concert would be. Yeah.
No, absolutely. So, can you give us the rundown on, I say your event, the car show registration? We'll reiterate the day, and then I guess tickets and stuff like that.
Yes. So right now we're live selling tickets pre-sales. $25 general admission. They will go up at the door. So take advantage of the pre-sale tickets. I am on Ticket Leap, and I'm sure you can provide that information after this interview.
We'll put a link in the information.
Yeah, we'll throw in the link with the information. I'm less than 50 cars available to register, and so there is still availability to register your cars, but I'm less than 50. I don't have the number, but I'm going to say it's less than 50. Like I said, yesterday I added 10 more cars, which was from San Francisco's Finest. And so registrations, they are $50, and it includes 2 general admission tickets. General admission tickets are $25. I haven't gone live with my VIP, so this is the first that I'm talking about VIP, because again, as it goes, you're still putting things together. And so what my idea for the VIP is, there's no tables or anything. It's an outdoor event, but it'll just basically guarantee the front row experience of the front stage, backstage access, meeting the artists, and then the exclusive luxury bathrooms. So far that's part of the VIP experience, and that will be direct sales through me. I'm not putting that on the website, I don't think. So that's going to be like, you got to reach out to me directly through my Instagram or Facebook event page.
Yeah. And learning from past events, because I remember when they did the Bamboo Lounge, I think, and then and it went from just an event, performance, and then all of a sudden people were asking for tables, and then like as you go and as you learn, you go, okay, well, we need to do the table thing and then this thing. What part of it through all these years have you learned that's really stuck out for you, like that's really helped you now?
Definitely planning an event at least 6 months in advance. I think that's crucial, because you got to have enough time to plan things out. Things don't always work out the way you anticipate. So you got to give yourself time. You got to give yourself time to promote. You got to lock in the venue at least 6 months in advance. And then after that, get your lineup ready. And then announce it, because, or you could do like a save the date. That's what I did. I reserved the park. I did a save the date. In the meantime, I was in the process of locking in my entertainment lineup. And then once I gathered my entertainment lineup, got a flyer ready, then I'm like, okay, I'm live now with this event, because that's really what's going to bring people to your show, is who's going to be there. Why do people want to even go to this show? Right. Exactly. So, and then from there, things kind of start just elaborating. And I'm going to tell you off top that I didn't think, like, I knew I wanted to do another event, as I was part of the one earlier this year, and I saw how History Park worked, and I was extremely impressed on how organized they were. And I said, this is somebody I definitely want to work with, and I love this venue. But I didn't think it was going to be as big as it is with all the entertainment that I have. And so it just kept growing and growing, and as expenses do. And so that's when I'm like, okay, I'm going to need I got to think creatively. How can this work for me while working for somebody else, while sticking to the vision? So that's kind of been how I've been playing things out so far. And so far, like I said, not everything works out the way you want, but you have to come up with creative ways, again, where it's not all about you. It's about the community. It's about others that could be also take advantage of the opportunity and the platform. And again, creative, collaborative minds are a powerful thing, and it's sharing the same vision. It allows you to make a vision and a dream come true and to fruition. And it only grows from there, and more opportunities grow from there. And like I said, my goal is to grow on higher scales. Oh yeah.
The expense, I'm not really into the money actually, but the what you need to do when you're bringing in artists from out of town. You got a lot of people don't understand this either, because one of the things about being a promoter and when I talk to all the promoters is you gotta you gotta get the available artist that you want. Then you gotta provide fly them in, hotel, all these other things. Um, for you that you do you research all that before you even ask them, or is it kind of like try to confirm them first before you do all that other stuff?
Well, it's a negotiation because you can't, you got to know what they want, and you've got to have a budget. And to start off top, you have to have some type of budget, obviously. And I will say that a lot of times you will over exceed the budget. It just happens, but you have to have a base budget. And then you reach out to either them directly, or if they have a booking agent. And everybody has different needs. Ideally, I would say negotiating a contract with an artist would be like an all-in, all-in cost. Let them take care of booking everything else, because planning an event, it's a lot of work, especially when you don't do this full time and it's just something extracurricular that you do. So the less responsibility you have to booking a hotel for every single one and all of that, I would suggest the best way is to kind of get an all-in rate.
So you would say, so basically, you're going to say, okay, I'm going to pay XYZ, and this is going to cover your performance, your flight, your hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of trying to book your hotel and stuff like that, because I just seen a friend that it's a model. She's a model, and she got booked in, I don't know what the Airbnb, but it was pretty questionable. So she was not very excited about that, because she let someone book her the Airbnb, and she posted it on her TikTok. But I was like, how did you do that? And she's like, well, I didn't book it. I let them do that.
I think people do that to save money, but sometimes time is money in a sense. So I'd rather not spend my time trying to book all these different things when I already got a million other things going on. Again, everybody has a different preference, but I would say that that's usually the motivator for somebody to do something like that, is to minimize expenses. In the long run, I think it ends up being more work for the promoter or producer. So I would suggest into trying to negotiate like an all-in rate.
Nice. And so, is there anything else you want to share with getting this whole thing done to get the show, and you're coming up? You have how many days you have left?
A little under 90 days, a little under 3 months.
The home stretch. Where are you at with just improvising, or are you going to stand your ground and go, this is the way it is? Or if something else comes up or something you can add to it, are you going to have wiggle room?
I am, and it's part of my sponsorship letter, which I will just kind of disclose a little bit of what's on there. So like I said, I have set packages for buying into a sponsorship and what you get from it. But there's also other opportunities to say, hey, if you're a collaborator, if you want to do a collaborative effort, if you have something to bring to the table where you can help enhance the aesthetics or the experience of this event, let's talk. So with that being said, that's an opportunity there for somebody to contribute to that, and things can change. I do have spaces. I do have some spaces I want to activate. There is a room. It's called the Renzel room, and it's an open room. So I'd like to put something in there. I'd like to activate that space with something. So that's in my sponsorship letter. Like, what can you do to enhance that experience? What can we do in this room, right? So that's something else that I don't have figured out yet. And if I don't get to do it, then it's okay. It's just another space I wanted to activate. But again, it's an opportunity to bring more to the event. It's an opportunity for somebody's brand or product or service to have exposure and create something to give to the people and enhance it in that way. So so far that's, and if somebody wants to contribute with enhancing the VIP experience, while promoting their brand.
Mm.
I don't know. This is just off the top of my head, but like I don't know, just something they want to provide.
Yeah.
Something that they do. Like people do those table decorations with desserts or something. I don't know. That's just honestly off the top of my head. I'm not necessarily saying that's what I'm looking for, but that is something to be offered,
Yeah.
right? So and it gives them the opportunity to promote. So again, if anybody's interested, I do have a sponsorship letter with package information, and I'm more than open to discuss any other potential opportunities or ideas that could be worked through the event in a collaborative effort.
Nice.
And it would be brand exposure. It would be on the flyers. It would be on the social media. It would be promoted. It'd be marketed. I am going to send press releases prior to the event. Press releases usually generate the opportunity for excuse me, for like interviews, television, news. I've done a lot of interviews lately with
podcasts,
right? So yeah, so there's definitely a lot of potential for brand exposure and marketing.
Definitely. The one thing you were saying, the bringing different, different possibilities. When you say activate, so that means if you would have to get before you even would like add that to the renting the facility. So you don't they probably showed you this room and said you can use this for a certain cost, or you already have it.
No, I rented the whole park, so I have these spaces available. I don't have to use them, but I do have this space available, and why not? If I have the space available, it's part of my package. Why not activate the space? But again, it has to contribute to the event, and it has to go with the theme of the event, which is a cultural event. So, but again, it's an opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. And you're having an art show. Can you tell me more about that?
Art gallery, yes, that's going to be curated by One Culture, and it's going to be in the firehouse. There's a firehouse there, so the gallery is going to be in there, and there's going to be a selected artists. So One Culture's curating it, so they'll know who those artists are. They'll have their art displayed. It would be available for purchase, and prior to that, they'll get some promotion as well as to what they're going to be selling. That way, there's promotion for them as well, because they are also part of the event and they're also contributing to the event. So shout out to One Culture for taking this on. It's really appreciated.
Nice. The well, I think you kind of mentioned, but what happened with the event that they had on, was it South First Street the last year? You had the
Raza Unida Fest.
Yeah, are they gonna do that again, or?
It was a sponsored event. We had a sponsorship for that one. We could potentially bring it back, but this would be with the United Lowrider Council, and I think there just needs to be more planning and more funds available in order to have another bigger event like that. So if there's a sponsorship available for that, then we're definitely open to it. It was definitely a great event as well.
And well, since you said you work with the council doing the event stuff, has that brought you, you were part of doing this, what did the things that we had downtown here at City Hall, and the networking that's involved with that. I mean, did you get to meet anybody? Like, I mean, do you get to like build these relationships with people working in for the city of San Jose?
Yeah, you definitely do, because they're part of it. So it's collaborative efforts, and definitely has extended the opportunity to work directly with council members. The downtown District 3, Omar Torres. Before that, because we've been working with them for a long time. So we had Raul Perales, who was before, and he was actually a very pivotal, and he was the first one to submit this change for the lift of the no cruising, starting here in San Jose, and that spread statewide. So he was very instrumental in that. So working with Raul, then he was up. Omar Torres came in, and then Council Member Peter Ortiz, who's a East Side District 5. So yeah, you're working directly with their offices and working with them directly in collaborative efforts again to bring to the community what we all want to, enjoy and continue to preserve.
So go ahead.
No, yeah. So I would say, I mean, yeah, those are the relationships, and then being the event coordinator and doing the outdoor festival that gave me the opportunity to work directly with the city and city event organizers. So, which I hadn't done something like that before directly with the city. So that gave me the opportunity to do just that.
Yeah.
And that facilitates and makes it easier for when I want to do my own shows and events. So it definitely has opened doors.
So History Park, I'll give everybody a little rundown if you're not familiar. It's adjacent to Happy Hollow, which is Kelly Park. It is the city of San Jose has put historic houses there. We have some train stuff there, signage. I think didn't they just put up the old Orchard Supply sign, I think.
Yeah, there's like an old. There's the firehouse. There's a firehouse. There's the hotel. There's like a candy shop. There's a gas station. And there's a whole bunch of houses too, historic landmark houses. So it's a preservation park. So when there's a historic designation, like a house or a building has a historic designation, which means it cannot be torn down. It gets moved, the land, because the real estate, we're such a high demand here in this area. They want to buy the land, but the house or the building has a historic designation. It can't be demolished, so it gets moved to this park. So that's basically what History Park is. It's a mix of all of the historic designation structures.
Yeah, it's a really nice venue, and that's what I like about it though too, because it does have that feel. And I think that some of the events in the past that they used to have there, it always like set the vibe. Also, we remember when they used to do Bombs United there, and that was a yearly thing. And but it's definitely a good vibe. It's gonna be a good. It's not like it's not just a parking lot show, and it's not just like I guess you say this is really is a venue for what you're trying to do, and it's a venue. There's grass. There's gonna be stuff. You're gonna have stuff for the kids to be there, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of things for everybody to do in the family. It's an all ages event.
Yes, it's a family event, all ages, and kids 12 and under are free.
Okay, so if you have to have 12 kids, that's good. But thanks again for coming on, and it is something to be insightful for people that always think about how hard you have to work to do these events, and it's a lot for any person, whether you have a team of people, which most promoters aren't always a team, or you're collaborating with multiple promoters, or you're doing it yourself. And the thing is, regardless, it's still a lot of work, and you have to be very driven to do something, because it's not easy. I've seen, like you said, trying to get this off the ground, back before COVID is one thing, and then now having to decide to take a chance to do it again. And this is, promoters put out a lot of money, they put out a lot of effort, and there's a lot of risk involved, but the love of what they're trying to accomplish is pretty much the biggest goal here.
Your son, it really is, and that is what it's about. There's definitely big risks with it. Again, that has been something that kind of has been what's pulled me back some, especially after the pandemic. But to me, overall, like, my heart is all into this, and it's for the people, for the community, preserving culture, and selfishly, for me individually, it's just part of my development and growth as a producer, to be able to scale up to a bigger venue, bigger show, it is like betting on myself. And because from there, it's when you put yourself out there, it can be scary. So that's just kind of just more like of a motivation kind of, inspiration quote or something is like, hey, if it's a passion and it drives you, take the risk because the rewards in the end, are much bigger. You're going to be able to bring your vision to life, your dream to life. And so what that's going to do for you is going to allow you to develop and grow as a person and just continue to do more amazing things.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the effort. I mean, I don't know. I mean, people ask me why I still, how I still, or whatever. And I just said at the end of the day, or how do they, or how do you? And this is one of the reasons why I'm talking to promoters and I've talked to photographers and content creators and everything else. But honestly, it's the effort, and you have to put the effort in, and the effort comes before everything. Yes, money helps, but if you don't have the effort, it's not going to get the job done.
Oh, exactly. You gotta be all in. You can't be half on it. You can't. You gotta be all in. Put your heart into it for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. There's something about what we do, and I'll say we because I do the photography end or the media end, and then there's the people that have the events, and then there's the people that support the events, and in the community in itself, there is a lot of it's a lot of heart. It's a lot of people investing what they love in this community and wanting to be a part of it, whether it's showing off their cars, enjoying the entertaining, and providing that means to do the entertainment. So this only does, it only helps with the culture. It inspires the next lowrider, the next performer, the next singer. These kids and the youngsters are going to see this and they realize that there's so much potential to be done here. And what I want to thank you is for always trying to do something different, standing out from the crowd, and throwing these events that really actually, it just they're events that everybody can vibe off of, and it's a party. It's a dance. It's with the oldies and everything that you do, it's not cookie cutter, and I appreciate that.
Thank you for that. That means a lot because that just means that I'm doing my job in the sense of expressing my creative, thoughts, inspirations into life, and it's being what's reciprocated. So that means a lot to me.
You're welcome, and thank you. So with that, anything else you want to add, or?
Again, just shouting out my sponsors, Dale Con Ganas Energy Drink, Black Tie Vanities. I have Central Coast Entertainment, who's helping me manage the stage. Because again, like you said, it's not easy being a one-person, a one-woman show. There's no way. There's definitely people that are supporting and are contributing. So I definitely want to make sure to shout them out. And my Soul Fam, Flipside Lovers and Homegirls of Soul, they're also sponsoring their time and bringing their talent and their collection to the event for that everybody else can enjoy. I have Chachos who will be serving the beer. And again, One Culture curating the art exhibition, Público Maleficus, the Aztec Dancers, Los R&R Squad, the kids who will be doing the cultural performances, and again, all the performers that are part of the show and have decided to work with me. That means a lot as well because it's everybody bringing this together for the people, for the raza, for the culture here in San Jose.
Absolutely. And then just let everybody know, anybody listening to this and you want to find out more information, in the YouTube video, because you're going to hear the audio podcast, but in the YouTube video, you will find all the information, links in the info. Where can they look you up if the people that are just listening on the audio?
Yes, so there is an event page on both Instagram and Facebook. So Chicano Soul Fest event on Facebook, Chicano Soul Fest on Instagram, me directly, Mas Dulce Soul, and Ticket Leap. You'll find under Chicano Soul Fest the information for all tickets. And follow me on the social media, contact me directly. because I do intend for the VIP tickets because I have to keep track of that. So that's going to have to be a direct reservation through me.
All right. Well, once again, thank you for your time. It's always good. I mean, when I started trying to do a different podcast before, you were right there to help me out, and I always appreciate it.
Yeah, no, definitely appreciate you putting this setting up this platform for promoters and producers like myself, because this is also a way to promote the show. So thank you very much. And yeah, no, thanks for everything. And once again, Saturday, September 7th in San Jose History Park, we have Chicano Soul Fest. So make sure to get your tickets.
All right. And there we go. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Take care.
Pinches Lowriders.